In C++, exceptions may be used to report errors, especially in circumstances where errors cannot be reported locally. So here I have a working copy of exceptions.cpp from Chapter 4 of the exercise files. The C++ language has complete support for exceptions. For our purposes, this movie is just a quick introduction. This file is based on the constructors example from earlier in this chapter. In this case, we want to do some error checking in a constructor, and exceptions make that particularly easy. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom in our main function, and you notice that I have this try block, and this is how you catch exceptions. So try consists of two parts. There's a block for try and there's a block for catch. Try is the code that you're executing where exceptions may happen, and if an exception happens, for example, while constructing this object, then execution is immediately switched to catch, where the exception object can report what the error was. So this uses an exception class. This class is called E, and it inherits from the exception class in the exception header. And so this is a standard class that comes with your C++ standard library. And so when it inherits that class, it overrides a few important functions. It overloads the constructor, allowing me to set a message, and the message is set here. And it overloads this what method, allowing me to return the message. It's really very simple, and you can simply copy and paste this and use it in your own projects or modify it. And then down here in our constructor, here's our constructor, which is pretty much the same as in the constructors lesson. But you notice that it checks to see if the length of each of these strings is 0. And if any of them are 0, then it throws an exception. And it has the message insufficient parameters. And so down here, I'm constructing the object and one of my strings is 0. And so we should get an exception. And what's important to notice is this x.print will never be executed. Once the exception is thrown, the catch block is immediately executed. So I'll go ahead and build and run, and you see constructor with arguments. That's our constructor up here. And then it does the check and it throws this error, and down here we catch the error, and it prints out this message, animal X, with the message from what, which says insufficient parameters. And that's the message that we sent to the E exception class. So this is just a quick introduction to exceptions in C++, but it's a useful example, and the E class here can easily be adapted to your usage.